You fat one or running?
Left
Damn.
side! Right side!
Shit.
Roll! Move! Left side!
Oh, that's a steal.
Transition, left side!
Yeah, it fell.
Index!
Yeah, the target fell. I was looking for it.
You got his ass. He won't no more. He's like, please stop.
Good evening, guys. Welcome back. Alright, so I got another video for you guys, and today I'm gonna be going over one of my favorite 308s that's been made. A lot of you guys already know what I'm talking about. Then you've already seen the thumbnail, so there's no secret. My Socom 16308. Now this thing is one of my favorite rifles that I have. Alright, this thing just makes me smile. Like, you can see my face. It just makes me smile when I pick it up because this just feels like a rifle, right? When you pick up like a battle rifle, this is really kind of what it looks like and what it feels like. You know, nice, not super heavy, but it's got some weight to it. But 308, man, it's hard to beat. You know, I love my ARs, you know, but I love my 308s also. 308 is definitely a very capable and devastating caliber. So let's get into it, y'all. So quick little backstory. How I got this rifle. I went up to Alabama where one of my students was. We're up there doing a little planning, and he was showing me his collection of firearms. You know, he had a very nice assortment of firearms. And so I saw this in the corner, just like leaning against the wall. I went over, picked it up, started messing with it, you know, talking about how I liked it. You know, I kind of fell in love with it, right? Just when I saw it sitting there in the corner. Okay, cool. All right, and so when I saw this in the corner, and so when I went to pick it up, I asked him, you know, about it. He said it didn't work, that he couldn't get it to shoot. See, I saw that. He said he couldn't get it to shoot, and so so what I did was, you know, I asked him, like, hey, if I take it home and work on it and get it to shoot, you know, can I keep it? Right? Because he didn't really care for it that much. He said it was a hand-me-down from one of his family members to him, so he didn't really use it. And so, you know, I took it back home, you know, did my little tinkering on it. You know, I got a second opinion, and, you know, for the most part, the rifle looked fine. I didn't see anything really wrong with it. So I just gave it a nice deep cleaning, and it shot. And so, you know, I asked him, hey, I got it working, can I keep it? And he's like, sure, go ahead. And so here we go. That's how I got the rifle. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get past, I won't say the boring part, but some of the specs. So coming up front, you have a 16-inch 308 barrel. As far as all the major specs with it, I'll put up on the screen so you guys can read it, because to be honest, I don't know about it right now. So you have this little muzzle device up here. They call it a muzzle brake, and for the most part it actually does a pretty decent job of keeping the muzzle rise from rising. And so I was actually kind of surprised at how flat shooting and soft shooting this rifle actually is for a 308 caliber. And this muzzle device right here is one of those reasons why it shoots so softly.
Come on. Yes. Light up for me. We're cheating.
It's alright.
Take a man
He's
cannon.
using the fucking EBR?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's using the ghetto EBR.
He's a fucking cannon.
Yeah.
Low.
Right here?
Yep.
Turn your light off whenever you're not using it, man. Fuck.
Turn that shit off.
All right.
One more.
One more.
Yep, right there, right there.
He has a compressor on that bitch.
All right.
Dude, he needs like a fucking.
Once it gets, he's over stuff for it to be able to suppress it.
You're shooting high.
And then people trying to call me in my damn video. Alright, so alright, just for people, I hate doing this on videos because I'm not a fucking idiot, so alright. I hate having to do that on video because people are like, oh my god, you shot a camera. No, fucking, no, dumbass. I'm a firearm instructor. I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna sit here with a loaded firearm. Alright, but since we got that out of the way, the iron sights. Now, the M1 Grand, Socom 16, M14, whatever type you want to call it, are some of my favorite iron sights ever, right? Like, to be honest, like, sometimes I don't even want to have the scope on the rifle because, you know, I feel like it detracts from the nostalgia of the rifle with the iron sights. But, no, we're in 2022, so everything has optic. But with the iron sights on here, I love the iron sights. They are some of my favorite. You know, I feel like I could shoot 300 yards easy with these iron sights. That's just me. Again, it's 90% of this rifle for me is nostalgia. Right, one of my favorite firearms ever made was the M1 Grand. I still really want to get an M1 Grand and have one in my collection. Right, so the M14 version it was basically like a modern version of that M1 Grand. So instead of having an eight round in block clip for the M1 Grand that goes ping, shoots the clip out when all the rounds have been fired, they went with a 20 round box magazine in 308. So they shortened it up a little bit, increased the capacity. Right, they made it more. They did that. They made the M14 mainly because in World War II they had the soldiers with M1 Grands, 30-06. They had soldiers with Thompson submachine guns, 45 ACP. They had Browning automatic rifles, 30-06. They had M1 carbines, 30 caliber. Grease guns, 45 ACP. Right, so you see in a squad, they would have multiple different calibers. So when you're trying to, logistically supply these troops, trying to make sure, okay, this guy's got enough 45 ACP. This guy's got enough 30-06. This guy's got enough 30 carbine. Right, so these people with the machine gun has got their 30 caliber ammunition. So trying to supply a squad, a platoon, a company, a division, brigade, whatever, right? That gets tough. So, after World War II, the military got together and said, how can we combine all these weapons into one? So when we give it to the squad basically has, majority of the squad has one weapon. So when we supply them people, everyone, we just give them 308, right? Because, you have the M14 and say the M60. Both of those are 308. So now you just get the squad one ammunition, 308 instead of just multiple calibers. So that's why the M14 came into existence. So it's really based off the M1 Grand, and so it's basically like the M1 Grand. The M1 Grand had a son. So it's still like a nostalgia thing for me. The M14, it has its history, especially in Vietnam. Even though it's a very short period in Vietnam, the rifle's legacy extends past that. You have Vietnam, Panama, Grenada, the Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, and you see that this rifle, not in this version though, it's with the 22-inch long barrel type, used for DMR use. You saw those rifles make a lot of comebacks. Like rifles like this make a comeback because it was a niche that the 5.56 just could not fill, and so it's a very nostalgic piece for me to have, right? Like I said, it's just one of those. It just feels like a rifle. When you think of like a rifleman's rifle, to me, this is what it feels like and looks like. All right. So continue on. Sorry, I just had to get that little piece of information. All right. So now the furniture on here. This comes from Springfield Armory, the factory. This little polymer grips up here. No, you can change those out. You can put on different colors. I'll get into it as we get into the video, but It's all right. You know, it flexes a little bit, but with this, it keeps the rifle lightweight, and honestly, I feel like it keeps the rifle more balanced in this configuration with this stock versus my other one over there, which I'll probably do a video on it tomorrow. You know, I like drop videos. So, but yeah, I'll talk about that one. But with this one, it feels more balanced. The weight of this feels more balanced. You know, 'cause you got weight up front. You got, you know, the weight of all metal receiver, the optic, and everything. This little rail right in the middle, and then you got the metal butt plate back here, adding weight to the back. So the rifle honestly feels, you know, very, very balanced. You know, for something that's pushing like 10 pounds, right? So very balanced rifle in this configuration. The only thing is that you can see that there's really no place to mount any type of like light or anything like accessories, like that type of stuff. Now you can drill holes into this little chassis if you want to, if you're about that life. I'm not, so I haven't. So that's why I went over and got me a chassis with M-LOK rails and everything, so I can do all that stuff. But if you want to, you can. There's videos on YouTube, so watch them. But it does have this nice little grip here for your hand that I do like. And so when the original rifle came, it didn't have this scope mount. I bought this from Low Pro Manufacturing, I believe. And so it had just this little piece. I'll put a picture of what it had. And this is like a scout mount, I think. Where like I don't know why. Don't get me. I think they did it for the field of view. So they would have like this little piece right up here, all the way the fuck up here, versus back here. Don't ask me why. So they had this piece here, and you would mount some type of scope, whether it be a red dot, LPVO, like a 2-7, like some type of scout scope, and they would use it that way. I didn't really like that. I didn't like my optic being so far forward like that. I like it more kind of back here, like an AR. You know, I'm used to that. And so what I did was go to Low Pro Manufacturing and got me, I think this is a 12-inch Picatinny rail. I took the little mount out, put this on, put the screws in, right? And then he gave me this full-length rail piece that goes all the way back to the iron sight. And it has this little piece that I screw down here. So it's mounted here, in those two places, so it's locked in and sturdy. And it has a little, I don't know if you can see, you see the, up here, see this little groove? This little, that little ditch, right? In the mount? That's so you can still use your iron sights, even with this mount and the optic on. So I got it for that reason also. So I can, you know, use my optic or drop down and use the iron sights if I need to. All right, and so mount it on top of this. All right, it sits better like that. All right, so mounted on top of this this beast here, I have an added ball 1-8 LPVO for a focal plane, and it's on a Leopold Mark 5, I think. I got it from Keith. I bought it off Keith, but it's Leopold rings, really heavy duty, good rings. And so with this 1-8, I think my furthest shots was 250. I believe so, from the rock pile out to the little targets we had in the bushes.
How does that make you feel?
I love hitting Steel 308. It's just always fun.
250, 300, right around that range. So it's on point. You know, people will say, I read about, oh, M1As aren't that accurate. They're not very accurate. Now, granted, compared to like an AR-15 accuracy, no, these are not as accurate as an AR-15, but they are still pretty accurate. You know, if you say 3.0 MOA, yes, granted, 3.0 MOA compared to like an AR looks bad, But if you really think about it, 3.0 MOA is like, no, something like that, right? Maybe a little bigger, right? But still, you can still put a nice grouping, even out to 500 yards with a 3 MOA rifle. You know, you just have to work on your fundamentals a bit. You know, understand you're not getting that pinpoint accuracy. But if you're just looking like to put rounds on a man-sized target out to 500 yards, then 3.0 MOA will do fine. So that, at least for me. You know, I'm speaking for myself. So the only downside with this optic though is that when you do kind of look at it, I'll say out past 300 yards, it gets a little bit blurry. It gets kind of hard to see those fine details to really positively ID what you're shooting at. Well, so what I think would help this optic out a lot would be if it had like some kind of parallax adjustment on the side, so you can clean up that image so you can see it more of a refined target at that distance. But like I said, out to 300 yards, you know, I honestly, what I did was like it was a target inside. So it was a concrete barrier on like mostly fields. So it was a concrete barrier with a little hole in it, and it had a steel target behind it. So I was out at the gate, which is about 250, 300 yards away. I put one round in this chamber, laid it on the fence, and I rested, and I fired one round, and I knocked the plate out. Right, it hit the plate through the hole and knocked it over. And so, you know, that's my best shot. One of my best shots with this rifle. I think my number one best shot was when I actually went deer hunting with this rifle, and I got my first deer. So I think that's my best shot because, you know, one, that was real. That wasn't just some steel plate. I had time to really rest and stuff. We have been sitting in that tree stand for hours. Right, it was really cold. I think it had rain, but I just know it was cold. Right, November time. And so he saw the deer. I barely even saw it. Like, them motherfuckers are quiet. I didn't even hear that thing walk up. And so he saw it, put me on target. And so, you know, I said it's my best shot because the thing was moving around. Like, it wasn't just stopping. It would stop, look around, move, stop, move. And it was between the trees. You know, so I'm seeing, like, I'm looking through the scope. You know, I got a little video of it, and I'm looking through the scope, you know, following the deer and shit. And, you know, I see the trees and everything, making sure I'm trying to get a clear shot. And so, you know, he's moving around. I'm trying to, like, freaking, I'm excited. It's my first deer. I don't want to be that guy who gets buck fever and throws a shot and misses his deer. So, you know, I'm trying to be calm, go through my fundamentals of marksmanship. And so finally he stops. All right, it's like between two trees. Right, he finally stops between two trees so I get a whole nice broadside shot. And like, I was tracking him, so it was like I was moving. He stops, boom, right, real fast, and dropped his ass right then and there. Like, I just remember coming out of the recoil and looking through the scope, and he was just on the ground kicking right where he was standing. Whoa.
Good shot. Good fucking shot. She's down.
All right, so I think that's my best shot right there. It makes me really proud. All right, that's enough on the optic. Right, 1 to 8 does good. Out to 300 yards, like really good. You know, if you probably push it 500, but in 0 to 300, you know, good. You got the iron sights down here, you know, with the adjustments on the side. I had to watch a YouTube video to find out how to adjust them. You know, how you gotta zero it out all to the bottom, then raise it up to get the clicks right or some shit like that. Stuff. Alright, so I got a Ferro Concept sling. Right, I had it laying around, so I went ahead and put it on this little swivels. I got mags. Got these ones. These are, I think, Pro mags, and I got the original, like, lightly gray color, scratchy ones, like those nostalgic ones. This cheek piece. I got this cheek piece from Amazon. I had to drill the holes in the stock myself. and I honestly recommend it, especially if you're running an optic, whether it be a red dot or a scope, because when these rifles were made, they were made for iron sights. So when this cheek piece and the stock and everything was made to be used with the iron sights. So with iron sights, you can get a nice cheek weld, but see how now it's like a chin weld, right? If you didn't have that cheek piece, because your head's so high up, get the optic. So that cheek piece gives you a nice cheek place to put your face, give you a nice place to be stable, and boom, fire your shot. So I think it's great addition. You got the little knobs on here to adjust the height. You want to raise it down or lower it depending on who's shooting at that time. And then you got right here the most dangerous, according to the politicians, the most dangerous part of this rifle. The shorter thing that goes up.
But that was the best build they could get out at that particular time. I actually don't know what a barrel shot.
Okay,
I think
it's in your
it's a shoulder thing that goes up.
No, it's not.
With this shoulder thing that goes up, the rifle's lethality has now increased 500%, just like that, just because it goes up. All right, LocsNLoad knowledge. All right, so, all right, be honest, this thing is like some kind of, like, you see those, you know those fast cars that got the little wheelie bars on the back that help with the torque, so the car doesn't go all the way up. Those bars are supposed to like kind of catch it, so it only goes up so high, right? That's basically what this does. It only lets the rifle go up so high, right? You don't need it, but it's there, you know, if you honestly really need it, but you don't. But what I like it for is that it gives you a nice, really, really hard surface. So, you know, if you just, you know, have to, just have to. So, I'm not gonna say what you have to, but if you just have to, it's there for you, right? So, all right. So, one of my favorite parts of this rifle. Love that sound. Absolutely love that sound. All that metal just going forward. It also has a bolt hold open, and so it has last round bolt hold open. So no, you're just shooting, boom, 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 boom. Locks back on the last round. You go to you hit so the reload, right? So we're shooting, boom, 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 boom. Ran out of ammo. The bolt has locked to the rear, so we hit this little paddle right here, and so you hit the paddle, rock forward, and the magazine comes out. And so we want to put a new mag in, almost like an AK. You got to put it in at an angle and rock it, right? You got to rock it, baby. Rock it, baby. Rock it, baby. So you put it in, rock it. Right, and you hear that click. When you hear that click, that's how you know it's in there. And then when that's done, you just, it's an empty mag. So the magazine was loaded, and the bolt goes forward, just like that. So, and then trigger pull. So, didn't mean to do that on purpose. See how light that trigger was? So, you got a little, it's a 2-stage trigger. So you see you got a little bit of take up. Comes to a wall, breaks. Honestly, I love this trigger. This is one of the nicest triggers, especially for a stock gun. You know, for just a stock rifle like this trigger is very nice.
All right, ready.
I have control. Found the TF2. Stand by. 5, 4, 3. Both rim packs.
All right, last target, small little gray one.
Yes.
I'm on him. Ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Found the TF2. Stand by. 5, 4, 3.
Malfunction. All right.
Damn, Thomas.
Knocked it over.
Good shit.
I was about to shoot too.
Good one. Like it has just that it has that just that little bit of take up. Just that little bit of take up to help you get ready to break that shot. Applying pressure. and it just smoothly breaks. Like there's no little bit of creep, nothing. It literally, that little bit of take up comes to a wall, breaks. And I love that trigger, and it's, yeah, very nice trigger. Very nice trigger for a stock gun. So Springfield, I think, you know, did a very good job on this rifle. You know, is it perfect? No. Is any rifle perfect? No. All right. The M14, M1A series rifles, there's a reason why it kind of got phased out of military service, right? People can say a lot of things. Oh, it was lobbying. Oh, it was this, it was that. But they made a move to the M4, and they obviously have not looked back. Now, they brought it out of service for time, right? But now I feel like we kind of seen the end of the day, end of days for the M14 type rifles. Now when they have the M110s or SR25s, now why have an M14 now, right? So why, if you can have something that looks, feels, and functions just like the AR-15 you've been trained on in basic training, shoots the same type of bullet as this rifle, but also is more accurate, why would you kind of go back to this rifle, to be honest? And I agree, you know, I wouldn't. But for a nostalgic piece of history, just to own, just to kind of, you know, go back in time, when, you know, back in the olden days, as they say, and just kind of have that rifleman's feel, what a rifle feels like. Back in the day, was this what our forefathers, you know, fought with? You know, it's a very nice piece of history to have and own, and I honestly don't regret having this rifle at all. Again, it's more of my hunting rifle now, like, or any type of like just going out in the backwoods type stuff, right? Because I got my 308 chest rig, so I can put some mags in there. I don't have to carry a whole bunch of stuff. I can carry this rifle in my chest rig, and, you know, I'm out there booging, have a backpack or something, and, you know, we're out in the woods. And then I have a 308 rifle, right? And that's gonna drop anything walking in North America, right? So this is my 308 dog, in the original configuration that I got it in. And so next video I do on this rifle, I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow, is gonna be on the different chassis I got, you know, bringing this nostalgic rifle into the 2020s. Yeah, the 2020s. So, alright guys, I want you to go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. It helps get the video in the algorithm, helps get it to more people, more views, more money, more content, right? And also, if you're looking for the parts on this rifle, you know, like the sling, the optic, the rings, cheek piece, stuff like that, follow the Patreon link down in the description box, and I will have those links posted there for you. So if you have a Socom and you want some of these pieces, or you're looking to get the rifle, and, you know, it's there for you guys to go check out, you know. So check out, go to the Patreon page, $1 a month, join the community, and I'm gonna eventually start dropping Patreon exclusive videos on there for Patreon only members. All right, so if you're looking for firearms training, I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida. No, I do, you know, pistol, shotgun, rifle, that type of stuff, beginners and advanced. If you're looking for your CCW certificate, I also do that. I do travel, but you need at least 6 people or more for me to leave the state. So on top of that, guys, like, comment, subscribe, stay educated, stay dangerous. LocsNLoad out.